Hello, it is February 1st, 2025, and we had a great time at the North American Honeybee Expo. Getting home was kind of a different story. It took us an extra 2 days, but so we were one of the unlucky ones that got stuck there during that storm, but we finally made it home. Roundabout trip through Minneapolis and down to Phoenix and finally back to Utah. Long story, but we made it. It's good to be back. It's good to be back in the bees. I'm going to get in the bees today. We're at a balmy 40 degrees right now, and as you can see, we've got a little bit of snow on the ground. We had maybe 2 inches, and it's going to all melt here in the next couple of days. We're supposed to be, I think, almost 60 Tuesday, Wednesday next week. We'll see if it actually happens. But my goal today is just to get a peek at these bees. I'm not going to tear into them too much, but I am going to lift the lids on them and just peek enough to see if they're still alive and make sure they've got enough stores left. For the next 2 months, the queen's going to start ramping up her egg laying, and they're going to start going through their resources faster than they've probably been going through them all winter long. And they've been using them. We've been down to, I think, -4 or 5 is about the lowest we got this winter so far. And I don't really suspect we'll get that really cold weather again. Maybe sometimes February can be kind of a bear, but I'm not really expecting it this year. Anyway, let's flip you around here and we'll show you what I've got. All right, as you can see, some of these bees are still alive. I've got bees flying out here. They'll be out taking some cleansing flights today, and that's great. So I know this end hive's still live. We just need to make sure they've got enough food. We'll see how some of these nukes in the back are and see how they're faring. Hopefully they're okay. But that's the goal today, is just kind of get into them and see if we've still got bees. I really don't want to disturb them too much if I can avoid getting them too riled up. I am trying some of these new, what do they call them? Apis tactical gloves. We'll see how I like them. Picked some gloves up at the Honeybee Expo. We'll see if I like them or not. So far, they feel pretty good. And I did put a little bit of sugar on top of these. And as you can see, they really haven't been up here in the sugar too much at all. I know they're alive in there. I can hear them, but I'd like to know if they've got a little bit of honey store. That's maybe a little risky, but I'm gonna just crack this box just a little bit and see if I can see where they're at. If they're up high or if they're down low. All right, I'll do this as quick as I can. Well, they're good. All off onto this one side. That's really all I need to see. 1 for 1. Okay, clusters up here at the top, and they're into the sugar. And they're eating on it actively, so I'm gonna have to kind of watch these ladies. But they're okay. Let's try this next box here. Oh yeah, into the sugar, but they're okay. And you can see these gals have eaten more of their sugar. So they're alive and doing okay. Well, they're alive here. They're not up into the sugar yet. They are alive. I'd like to see how big that cluster really is, though. Oh, yeah. Not a great big cluster, but I think they're going to make it. They smell good. Love the smell of bees. Now these gals did not get an extra sugar block on them. Good little hive there. Let's see how heavy they are. Oh yeah, they've still got sugar. Still got honey stores. I'm not worried about them. They'll be good. Nobody home up here in this one. Oh, this might be my first dead out. Not seeing a soul. Still seem to have some honey up here though. Yep. There's my first dead out. So that one's didn't make it. I think I'll go ahead and pull it out. There's some honey in that box though. I've got just a small dead cluster right here. I'm not sure why these gals didn't quite make it. From the size of the cluster, which isn't very big, I don't think they accomplished that fall turnover very well. They didn't have just simply did not have enough bees going into winter, I think is the problem. I'll take this out, take it back to my shop. We'll kind of do a little more deep post-mortem on it. Maybe wash a few bees and see if their mite counts just were too high. Not seeing much activity here either. That's not a good sign. Oh, we got plenty of bees here. They're okay. And they're all coming out to meet me. And that one's got bees right up here, and I can fill enough sugar, so I think they're okay as well. I'm going to push these together though. I like having the hives right up next to each other. So out of the 17 colonies here in my yard, I've had one dead out. Not too bad. I'm going to go check the rest of my yards and see how they fared. I would say there's a few alive around here. I got bees flying all over the place. It's a good sign. Somebody's alive here. This one on the end, I'm not seeing as much activity. Look at these gals. They are out in force. I think everybody's alive. I'm seeing activity on every single entrance here. Of question is, do they have enough food stores to last them for a little bit? So that's really all I'm concerned about right at the moment. Oh, they're just getting up in here. They're okay. They're just barely starting into the hat. They're okay. Well, they've been into theirs a little bit. They'll be okay for a couple of weeks though. I'm not too worried about them yet. Next two hives, they're definitely alive. Lots of sugar left there. Not really even touching that yet. Whoops. Let's try this one. Oh, theirs is all gone. These guys are empty. Now the question is, what do I do with them? Yep, they're light. So, they need some food. What I'm going to do, since these gals haven't touched anything yet, I'm going to rob from Peter to pay Paul. Whoop. Let's pick up this back one. Okay, this hive's still got quite a bit of weight to it, so I'm feeling good. We'll just give these gals some of this sugar. And that is why I'm checking if I can. That'll be enough sugar there for these gals for the next, no, that'll get them a good week. Now this hive was a little bit small going into winter, so well, they're there. They're up in feeding. They're okay. Oh, they're empty. And they're fairly light. So they need some sugar. So I'm going to do the same thing. Just to kind of hold them over for another week or so. That'll tide these gals over for just a little bit. They weren't completely out, but they're getting close. So everybody in this yard is alive. So 9 for 9, they're all alive, but they are a little light on stores. So I just checked the 6 hives here, or the 8 hives here in this yard, and they are all alive and look like they're doing okay, except they're light on stores. So I've got to get some more feed on them. Pretty much every one of these hives have gone through the extra sugar that I've given them. So all in all today, things are looking pretty good. I'm liking what I'm seeing. The bees look pretty good. They're alive, which is great. I've got 42, well, I had 42 hives. I've lost one. And it was a small nook. It kind of looked like it just didn't have a big enough cluster to go through these cold snaps. There was still honey in the hive and plenty of sugar, but I think it was just a matter of the cluster wasn't big enough to make it through. I'll do a mite wash on those just to make sure it wasn't a mite issue, but I'm guessing it was just the size of the cluster. Other than that, they look pretty good. They're burning through their stores pretty quickly though, and that's going to be normal for this from here on out. They're going to burn through stores faster in the next 2 months than they've been burning through stores all winter long. And that's just because they're starting to ramp up and raise brood, and they need more energy to do that. So I'm going to have to get some feed on some of these pretty quick here. Next week we're supposed to have some warm days, so I'm either Tuesday or Wednesday next week I'll be back out and put some extra sugar on these just to make sure that they're okay. And I'll probably give them another 5-6 pounds of sugar, and hopefully that'll last them into March. And if I can get them into March, then we should hopefully get some warm enough days that I can switch to syrup. And we'll just have to keep them going until spring and nectar flow starts coming in. It's just the way it is. But so far it looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy. I've only lost one out of 42. I'll take that. So hope your bees are doing well.